Welcome to... Wait. For the second video on this channel, I think we can really step things up. First, I'm gonna need a new office. Welcome to the new office! Here, we have the same table, but I think it deserves some decoration. There we go. But I'm gonna need a new chair. Welcome to Butterman Central. I'm Butterman, and I guess I'm gonna talk about Rhythm Heaven.
The year is 2006. A video game titled Rhythm Tengoku has released for the Game Boy Advance. Most people believe it's a simple rhythm minigame collection, but I think there is something much more sinister behind this happy color palette. I'm on to Nintendo, but I think Nintendo is on to me. The phone rings. The game only released in Japan, so as far as I'm aware, it doesn't exist.
Rhythm Heaven released internationally on the Nintendo DS in 2008. What's interesting is that this game requires the player to hold the device sideways, like a book. Brain Age was one of the few other games to do this. The reason for this is that almost all inputs for the game revolve around the touchscreen, and tilting the device like this is the most comfortable way to do this. Now, Rhythm Heaven is a rhythm minigame collection, so the player has to tap or swipe the screen in a certain pattern to the beat of the music. The first minigame, being titled Built to Scale, requires the player to swipe upwards on the screen once the scale heard reaches so, like this. First, like with every minigame, there's a practice segment that teaches the player how to play the minigame. Then, there's an actual minigame. I actually like Built to Scale. Sure, it's not the best Rhythm Heaven minigame, but it allows the player to figure out what in the world they're getting themselves into. I really like how the tempo changes all the time, making the minigame simple, but still interesting. Alright, this is taking forever. Let's speed things up as there is a lot to go through in this video. Glee Club! Interesting how the inputs are inverted, so the player has to keep the stylus on the screen when doing nothing. Philbots. Filling. Fan Club. The mechanics require this minigame's song to be absolutely atrocious. Rhythm Rally. This minigame stresses me out so much, I don't know why. Shoot 'em up. This is just a call and response minigame. You're gonna see a lot of these. Still, this is one of the better ones, as the sound design is very satisfying and the music is pretty good. Bluebirds. Dude! This one's deep. Moai Doo-Wop. What? Love Lizards. Learn a singular pattern and that's it. The tempo of this one never changes, but it still just feels unresponsive for some reason. Crop Stomp. This one's really fun. The music's great and it's satisfying to play. Freeze Frame. Haha. Cargo Vroom Vroom. The Dazzles. This one has a song that's pretty much described as if the fan club song was actually good. Munchie Monk. Learn how to chew! DJ School. There's just something really fun about this one, which is strange because I don't really like this minigame that much. Drummer Duel. I really like when it gets faster at the end, and this minigame makes me feel really cool. Love Lab. I love this minigame so much. Sure, the sound design is a bit awkward in the way it is in Love Lizards, but the song is so good. In fact, it would be a shame if the minigame were to never reappear in any future Rhythm Heaven games. Splashdown. Splashdown. Big Rock Finish. All the player has to do is learn a single pattern, but at least the tempo changes. I'm looking at you, Love Lizards! Dog Ninja. It's Rhythm Fruit Ninja. Frog Hop. I like the song, I like the gameplay. Did I say I like the song? Space Soccer. This one also really stresses me out because if the player messes up, they might have to wait a long time before they're given another soccer ball to continue playing the minigame. Lockstep. What is this? What? The song is nothing. The gameplay is just, oh, keep tapping to the beat. Oh, now you have to tap to the offbeat. I hate this minigame so much. It's just Rockers. This minigame is off its rocker. Karate Man. I like the gameplay, I like the song, but what is up with how his toes are drawn? Finally, for the minigame that's played during the game's credits, Airboarder has a great song, but the way the singer says deer is really weird. After playing through those minigames, the game will recycle them with new songs and gameplay mechanics. Yeah, it's pretty much padding, but it's still a decent way to make the game last a little bit longer. Other than that, we have remixes. Every time the player completes 4 minigames, they're presented with a remix. Every Rhythm Heaven game has 10 remixes, each with unique songs and minigames. Remixes will switch between minigames throughout the remix, so they're definitely a way to keep the gameplay interesting. Other than that, we have endless games, which are just endless rhythm games. They're pretty neat. Rhythm toys? Who cares? And guitar lessons, which are just the Rockers minigame but with different songs. I was hoping they would be actual guitar lessons. I'm just saying, it would have been pretty neat. Still, Rhythm Heaven is a really great game, aside from Lockstep, and it definitely deserved to get some sequels. Rhythm Heaven Fever released internationally on the Nintendo Wii in 2011, and no, it does not utilize motion controls. What is the point? Unlike on the DS, Rhythm Heaven Fever requires the player to press buttons in time to the music, the buttons being A and B. With that, let's run through all of the minigames, but I'm still going to use footage from the 2DS because that's just the way things are around here. Hole in One. The practice segment is really cute, and the song is great. Aside from the demo of the next game, this was my first Rhythm Heaven game, so this was a great introduction to the franchise for me. Screwbot Factory. Yes, this is pretty much just Philbots, but I still like it. Seesaw. The music, the particles flying everywhere, this minigame, it's so good. Double Date. You know that relatable moment when you're on a date with somebody where all you do is sit on a bench while countless soccer balls, basketballs, and footballs fly towards you, forcing you to kick them out of the way to protect the weasels that are also on a date nearby? Well, this is that. Forklifter. This one's just really satisfying with its sound design, and I really like the song, even if it's just a call and response minigame. Tambourine. This is about as basic of a call and response minigame you're gonna get. Nothing special, just shake the tambourine, whoa, you won! Board meeting. Yeah. Monkey Watch. I really like the song, and I really want a Monkey Watch. Nintendo. Could you make some merch? Working Dough. Call and response, but I like how Mr. Game & Watch is in the background. Built to Scale. I definitely prefer this one over Built to Scale on the DS, and the song really reminds me of Who Put the Bomb. So that's cool. Air Rally. This one comes with some grade A voice acting. Figure Fighter. Once again, this minigame just makes me feel really cool. Ringside. This one's just so weird. Packing Pests. I like the sound design. Micro Row. I like the song for this one, and there are some pretty colors. Samurai Slice. In a lot of Rhythm Heaven minigames, things will be thrown onto the screen to distract the player, and this one has a story about a pinwheel being stolen, and if the player messes up, the characters fly around. It's great. Catch of the Day. Yeah, this one's pretty good. Flipper Flop. Does PETA know about this one? Exhibition Match. This one's pretty simple. The player just has to wait 4 beats after the ball is thrown before swinging. No tempo changes, but I still like the song. Flockstep. This one's pretty much if Lockstep was actually good. Launch Party. Someday, somebody will make space-themed music that isn't good. But today is not that day. Donk Donk. Skip. Bossa Nova. I remember not liking this when I first played it, but I kinda like it now. The title pretty much tells you what the music is like. Love Rap. This one's just weird, man. Tap Troop. Nope. No, I don't like it. Actually, the way they celebrate when the player does well is neat, and the ending where it reveals how long their legs are is pretty funny, but I really don't like the rhythm. I don't like this minigame, but it's still better than Lockstep. Shrimp Shuffle. Once again, the rhythm of this minigame is a nightmare, and it does things I don't like, but I'll let it pass. Cheerleaders. I'm playing video games, why are you reminding me to read? Karate Man. That's right, Karate Man is back with new moves and a new song, and guys, the song is so good. Also, somebody finally got around to fixing his toes. so that's good. Finally, Night Walk is a minigame for the credits, and I like the song, but the gameplay is just nah. Once again, the minigames are recycled to make the game longer, so that's cool. Endless minigames and rhythm toys are back. But there's also a 2-player mode. So, who wants to play 2-player mode with me? You? You in the back? You in the shirt, I know you want to play. No? Well, guess I'm playing it by myself. It turns out that my hands aren't very good at being in sync, but 2-player mode really messes with the gameplay to make it more interesting. So I definitely prefer Rhythm Heaven Fever over the original, but any game that doesn't have lockstep is automatically perfect. Rhythm Heaven Megamix released internationally on the Nintendo 3DS in 2015. Unlike on the DS, this one requires the player to hold their device normally and send button inputs instead of touch inputs. While playing a minigame, there will be little bursts of stars on the bottom screen to indicate if the player's input was early, perfect, or late. The game gives the option to disable this, but I like looking at it to adjust my inputs. Now, the first 2 Rhythm Heaven games didn't have a story, but this one has one. What do you think I'm gonna do? Spoil it? I'm just gonna talk about the minigames. Rhythm Heaven Megamix is a best of Rhythm Heaven compilation, so many of these minigames are returning from previous games. I'll just talk about the ones I didn't talk about before. Catchy Tune. This one uses the A button and the D-pad to control 2 different characters. Later iterations of this minigame are very interesting with how these mechanics are used. Rhythm Tweezers. It's another call and response minigame, but this one is so strange. Fruit Basket. This one's alright, but the results screen says how about Dem Apples? 0 out of 10. The Clappy Trio. This minigame is just Glee Club, but way less interesting. First Contact. Whoa! Another call and response minigame? At least this one has dialogue to help those trying to learn the deep lore of Rhythm Heaven. Bunny Hop. This is one of those minigames that require the player to keep the beat, even when the song isn't playing. And I like minigames that do that. Also, the song is pretty cool. Tongue Lashing. Can I just say this one's weird? Sneaky Spirits. I find the song of this one to be pretty funny for some reason. Lumberjack. The title is a pun, 0 out of 100. Power Calligraphy. I like how this one mixes things up throughout the minigame to keep things interesting. Super Samurai Slice. Anything that isn't the original Samurai Slice is automatically terrible. Spaceball. This minigame has a lot of fun when it comes to distracting the player with the camera zooming in and out. Sumo Brothers. Really goofy, but I like the song. Rat Race. Tom and Jerry, but it's a rhythm game. Animal Acrobat. For some reason, the song of this one reminds me of something that would play in a Mario Kart game. Tap Trial. Weird and kind of basic. Tangotronic 3000. I like the song, I like the gameplay, I like how they run around the screen toward the end, but I feel like Tangotronic would be terrifying if it actually existed. Ninja Bodyguard. Short, but interesting. Pajama Party. This is probably one of my favorite Rhythm Heaven minigames. It's strange, it's interesting, the music is great, and it's just fun to watch. Marching Orders. For some reason I really struggle to remember this minigame, and I don't know why. Blue Bear. This one's an absolute journey. I really like this one. Space Dance. No! Finally is Kitties. The art style is really goofy, but I really like the song. I like jazz, okay? And with that, let's talk about the other parts of the game. Instead of endless games, there are saffron trials. So that's cool. Rhythm toys were cut for some reason. So that's cool. There's the challenge mode. So that's cool. There's a goat. There's a what? Other than that, Rhythm Heaven Megamix doesn't have much to offer. I do think it's the best one in the series, but I hope the next one doesn't recycle old minigames like this. Well, the last game in the series released in 2015, and each game seems to release every 2 to 4 years, so let's see if there's one on the Switch. There is not. Skip! 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 Catchy tune. 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 Hardest thing I've ever had to say in this entire video.